Ladies and gents, welcome back. We know things get heated in the House of Parliament, our politics here in Canada. Very serious debate happening, but not every day that you see actual threats of physical altercations. Here we have Mark Gerretsen, and, well, just in his own words, let's hear it.
My response to that member is,
catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
All joking aside, here's actually what he had to say in Parliament just the other day.
my response to that member is, let's go outside and say it to me in public where you do not have the parliamentary privilege that you have in this room.
What did he mean by that? Well, only he can answer that, I suppose. Who is Mark Gerretsen? Mark Gerretsen is a bit of a clown of an MP, Liberal MP. He's well known for going all over Twitter and saying all kinds of outrageous things for someone who holds such a high office here in Canada. Mark Gerretsen is towing the Communist Party of China line. He has voted against the public inquiry into, well, this is the inquiry into interference by the Chinese Communist Party. He voted against a motion to have Katie Telford testify. He is a known liar on Twitter, by which he was fact-checked. Mark Gerretsen is an idiot. Continuing series by Warren Kinsella here. Here's the actual back and forth here. Did Mark Gerretsen just threaten to beat up Kevin Vuong for criticizing the Liberals' closeness to the CCP? Well, you can decide for yourself.
The problem is, what party line? The Liberal parties or the Communist Party of China's? I call upon the government to step up and provide strong investigatory powers to the Special Rapporteur so that Mr. Johnson can unearth names and evidence of foreign interference in Canada, and especially in Vancouver and Toronto during the last two elections. Canadians deserve and demand to know what's going on. They want to see concrete action taken to protect our political and democratic processes and institutions from foreign manipulation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, that is actually a very justifiable thing to request. And yeah, what party lines are you towing? The Liberal Party lines or the Communist Party lines? It's famous now, the Trudeau government, under so many scandals, one after another. And now they have this scandal of the Communist Party of China interfering in our elections. And what does Trudeau do? He hires his old school buddy, well, his old buddy from his own Trudeau Foundation, one of the members, to be the rapporteur to investigate into this. So asking that he actually be given the opportunity to look into it deeply, not just on a superficial level. Well, what does Mark Gerretsen have to say to this?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
If I understood that member correctly, Mr. Speaker, he just asked and questioned whether I was towing a Liberal Party line or a Communist Party of China line. My response to that member is, let's go outside and say it to me in public where you do not have the parliamentary privilege that you have in this room.
The problem.
Okay, so threats of violence. Here we go. Pointing fingers and threatening to go outside. Why don't you come outside and talk to me like a man? Well, there's no more public venue than the House of Parliament here. Sorry, Mark Gerretsen. But if you wanted to hear it, have it publicly said, well, it was just publicly said that it seems like you are towing the Communist Party of China's line, not just the Liberal Party. Well, I mean, is there really much of a difference these days anymore anyhow? And that's really the question. Now, Mark Gerretsen is no stranger to making wild accusations or saying particular things, especially in a very public way on Twitter. Here he is talking about another Conservative MP. We caught a picture of him sitting down while everybody was up clapping. It looks like he was distracted by something. He was looking at something. But he says we shouldn't be surprised that the same Conservative MP that read a terrorist manifesto in the parliamentary record and gave an interview in front of a flag with a swastika would not be interested in listening to a leader of the free world. Of course, I'm guessing this is when Biden was speaking, and well, we'll get into that in another video. That's too much to get into in this video alone, but making wild accusations here. Also taking pictures or video of Andrew Scheer here. You think Andrew Scheer would have, or Andrew would have a tad more enthusiasm for a fellow American citizen, taking pictures and videos of fellow parliamentary members, MPs in here, to which people are pointing out online that this goes against the rules and decorum of Parliament. These are actually rules that are put in place, and well, yeah, of course, here we are. Use of cellular phones, video recording devices, or cameras of any kind are not permitted in the chamber. And these are rules that you agree to when you join the parliament. Of course, when he puts out these statements like this, he always leaves it where you cannot actually reply. Unless he allows you to reply. This is an interesting feature of Twitter. I don't see the point of it. It really just limits the ability of somebody to be able to respond to the vitriol that you put out there on the internet. Now, somebody, of course, the Pleb, the reporter, showing that somebody had actually edited his Wikipedia page to include, on March 25th, 2023, Gerretsen stood in Parliament and challenged a fellow MP to fight outside, which is just way too funny, and fitting, but of course, when you go to look at the page now, it's no longer there. They got rid of that one real quick, showing here at the bottom of the page. This page was last edited on March 27th, 2023 at 4:43 in the morning. Somebody got to that very quick and made sure that was gone from the record, of course. But yes, Viva Fry even replying to the tweet of him giving his threats, saying astutely missing from Mark Gerretsen's sassy retort was an actual answer to the question: were you towing the Communist Party line when you know, being involved in this whole thing? Is this the liberal lines or the party lines of the Communist Party? Now, I would say, I don't know if there's much of a difference anymore these days with what scandal the Liberal Party is going through at the moment. Now, of course, there are distractions underway. The Trudeau distracts from Chinese interference with a $6,000 luxury suite admission. This is from the Counter Signal, as we heard that there was this. The rumors were that he spent so much money staying at a hotel when going to the Queen's funeral. The PMO's, the Prime Minister's office, Thursday admission or distraction indicates that it was Trudeau himself who billed taxpayers for $6,000 Canadian to stay in the River Suite at the Corinthia Hotel. So they made the statement saying, yeah, it was him, and it was all his decision. Perhaps not coincidentally, this announcement by the PMO comes less than 24 hours after now former Liberal MP Han Dong resigned amid Chinese corruption allegations. Well, what were those corruption allegations? They're actually quite severe, and in my opinion, this should be something that would bury the Liberal Party as a party itself forever. And while this has to do with the two Michaels that were imprisoned in China as retaliation for Canadian Huawei chief financial officer Meng Wanzhou being detained in Canada. These men committed no crime and they were imprisoned. Now, the allegation goes that Han Dong, along with the Liberal Party, this is what really fuels me in this one. There's no way Han Dong, if these allegations are correct, did this unilaterally. So the idea of this allegation here is that Han Dong spoke to, and this is coming from CSIS, mind you, a leak from CSIS, that Han Dong had contact with the Chinese official and asked that they hold on to these two men in prison in what has been described as torture-like conditions for a little bit longer, like another year longer, so that because at the time, the conservatives were fighting so hard to have them released, that if they were released at the time, it may have looked good for the conservatives. So he asked the Chinese officials, could you hang on to him until after we win the election, of which there is indication that there was interference in trying to get the liberals elected on the part of the Chinese Communist Party. So the allegation here is that the Trudeau's Liberal Party was behind having these two men held for an extra year in torture-like conditions in another country. If I don't know how to drill this one home, there's nothing more betraying than a government in its own capacity. The first principle of what a government is there for is protecting its own citizens, and they've betrayed that trust. And so no wonder they want to, distract from this whole thing. But yes, when looking into how much influence the Chinese Communist Party had in Canada, the question is to Mark Gerretsen and all the other Liberal MPs, what line are they towing? Are they towing the Liberal Party line, or are they towing the Communist Chinese Party line? And them may be fighting words, but those are true words and a real question for the Liberals and for the Canadian public. Anyway, I'll let you guys decide. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this whole story. And it's challenging people to fight in the House of Parliament. But leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.